Here are 10 signs to know that you're making progress and that you're growing. Because many of us think that we are not because we cannot see what we have been picturing for the last couple of years now. Many of us are waiting for that end result. But do you know that you're actually making progress? If you think that you're stuck and you think that you're not making any progress at all, you might want to just sit back and watch this video because I will be sharing 10 ways to know that you're growing and becoming the person that you want to become. Now, let me start with this illustration. Picture it, yeah? Picture it with me. You plant a seed and you're expecting that the next day it sprouts. You're expecting to start seeing it sprouting, to start seeing the fruits the next day or the day after. Sometimes it might take weeks, it might take months, it might even take years for that to happen. But it doesn't mean that progress is not happening. It might not just be visible to you and to everyone else, but progress is happening. But if you're going there every single day to check it, and when you check it, you see that there's nothing growing yet, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I've done rubbish, or I'm not doing the right thing, or I'm not making any progress, this is not my calling. There are many things we say to ourselves that are just too belittling, and we don't give ourselves enough grace. You're making the progress, you just haven't seen the results. And there's nothing wrong with not seeing the results yet. The most important thing is knowing that you are on the right path, you're growing. And that's why I'm making this video, to tell you the 10 signs to know that you're making progress. Now, you don't need to see all these 10 signs. If you see all the 10 signs, then you shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried at all. If you're seeing a few of these signs, you're fine. You are honestly fine. So let's start with sign number 1. You recover faster from setbacks. When you find yourself not sulking too much or dwelling too much on things that have disappointed you, or people that have disappointed you, or things not going your way, when you don't just sit and always think about it and make it just the center of your life, that thing that isn't going well, complaining about it. If you're able to bounce back quickly from setbacks, my dear brother, my dear sister, you are making progress. You are making progress, and you should give yourself a pat on the back, or get someone to give you a pat on the back, because you're making progress. Because one of the things that limits people the most is dwelling on things that you cannot fix, things that has happened already. You're making it drag you back when you should actually be learning from it and moving forward. Last week I talked about reflection and how important it is. So it's not bad for you to think about the things that hurt you, or think about the things that didn't go well for you, but you shouldn't be dwelling on it. Reflect, learn your lessons from it, and move on from it. Become a better person, knowing that you wouldn't make that mistake anymore. So sign 1 is you do not let your setback limit you. Sign 2 is that you are becoming more disciplined than motivated. I've also made a video about this. I think this is just a summary of everything I've made videos of in the past. You do not let motivation define you, because there are times that you would not be motivated. Like I also said in previous videos, what motivates you today might not be what motivates you tomorrow. You need to build a structure for yourself. You need to build discipline that lets you keep going even when you don't feel like it. That's what you need. You don't need the butterflies in your belly. You don't need the perfect setting or perfect atmosphere. You don't need all of that. It's cool if you have it. That's even amazing. But what if those things aren't there? What if there's nothing that makes you want to continue? You have to make sure to stay disciplined, build a structure for yourself that lets you keep going even when you don't feel like it. So if you have reached that point in your life where you're not waiting to feel excited, you're not waiting for everything to align, everything to be in place, if you've gotten past that level, I'm so proud of you. You're making progress, you're growing. You might not see it right now, but you are growing. And it's just a matter of time. The world will see you for how phenomenal you are. Sign number 3 is that you protect your peace. One of the ways to protect your peace is refusing the urge to shalaye. Refusing the urge to shalaye. Don't always try to explain yourself to people, because people would have the notion that they want to have about you. There is little to nothing that you can do to change how someone feels about you. At work the other day, I was trying to explain a bill to a customer, and because she had some debts, everything was on that bill to let her know that we had done our part, everything was calculated well. But because she already shut her mind to learning or to any new thing, she knew what it is that was in her mind, and she was not letting anything change her opinion, even though she could see it, she could literally see it. Not every message deserves a response. Not everything needs your opinion. Not every conversation needs your opinion. Yeah. You shouldn't be, there are things that you should just let go of. Don't let it affect your peace. Don't keep dragging things with people unnecessarily. Like sometimes it's not really worth it. Think about it. What difference will it make if that person maybe has that notion about you? What difference does that make? Does that make you less of who you are? Protect your peace. And this is not about you being nonchalant about things. It's just you do not let things that carry very little significance in your life affect you. And that's cool. Let it go. Don't drag things too much. So if you find yourself in this phase where you're not letting anything affect your peace, like if it will cost you your peace, it's a non-negotiable. You're not even getting yourself into it at all. Number four sign is that your circle is changing. You don't even have to go and talk to the person that you think do not align with your visions anymore. You don't need to go to them and say, I don't want you to be my friend anymore. Do people even really have time to do that? You don't have to do that and give too much explanation. To be honest, when you are on a path, people that do not align to it will just fall by the wayside. They will just be in their place. And this is not to say that all your friends must be like minds, all your friends must be into the things that you're doing. For instance, you're a photographer. Not all your friends should be photographers because you need diversity. Sometimes you might just need a breather. You might need someone in a totally different field to rub minds. So your friends and circle changing doesn't mean that you only roll with people doing the things that you want. And the people who do not align with you, you find yourself having less and less conversations with them. Gradually the friendship just fades. Not like you're no longer friends with them or that you've cut them off permanently. It's just they're not your everyday buddies anymore. They're not the people you're talking to, spending a lot of time with, because the people you spend a lot of time with matters in your personal development. So if you find out that your circle is changing and becoming the kind of circle that you want, you are making progress. You are making a lot of progress, trust me. And like I said, it's just a matter of time. Everything will align. And before I move to the next sign, I need to round off this point by saying that you need to be happy with having few friends. You need to be comfortable. So if you've gotten to that point where your circle is changing, they are people that you want in your corner, you also need to be fine with them being very few, because the journey to success can be lonely sometimes. So if this is you, then yeah, you're on the right path. The fifth sign is that you're comfortable being a beginner. So people already know you for a particular thing, and you find out that that is not something you want to continue on the long run anymore. You have realized that it is not for you anymore. Do not be a people pleaser and stick to that thing when you know that it's not for you, just because you don't want to come out of it and become a beginner. I think I just wrapped. I just went back to back to back, but I hope that that makes sense. You need to be comfortable being a beginner again. You need to be comfortable being a beginner again. Don't let the what will people say affect you. Don't let the what will people say stop you from greatness, or from doing what you love, or from doing that thing which you know that brings you fulfillment. And you should be willing to learn, be willing to make mistakes, be willing to ask questions. Humility accelerates growth. You need to be fine being a beginner again. You need to be fine owning up to your mistakes, owning up to things that do not serve you anymore. And you no longer need to appear to people like you know everything. No one does. There's this lady on social media that I follow. She was into marketing for the longest. I got to know her through marketing. When I even had my ready to wear brand, she advertised for me on her platform, on her Instagram and her WhatsApp, I believe. So it's something she's known for. On LinkedIn, she was very popular for being that marketing girl. She was also going out for speaking engagement, talking about marketing, and she was on that for years. And then one day she made a post that she's now into, I think, operations, and how it's been hard for her being a beginner. You know, when you leave something that you are a guru at, something that people already know you for, and then you're leaving it to something else. She owned up to it on social media that she's struggling. She is now doing something totally new. She's now the newbie. What she has never been, like she has never been that, or the last time she was that was many years ago because she has been in marketing for a long time. So you need to be fine with switching lanes when you find out that the other lane is no longer where you want to be at. And why I said this is because you shouldn't be switching lanes very easily. If you're very convinced that you shouldn't be there anymore and you want to move, be fine being a beginner. Don't dwell on your past glory because there's a whole lot to learn. You won't be a beginner for too long. I mean, that should be the aim. You shouldn't aim to be a beginner for years. Beginner level is temporary. It should be a temporary phase of your life, and from there you should grow. So if you see yourself as someone who is not afraid to be a beginner anymore, you are making progress, and in a matter of time it will show. Everyone will see that you are making that progress. Now the sixth sign is that you are always genuinely happy celebrating other people's success. So you're not comparing yourself all the time. And I think it is wrong in friendships and in any relationship for you to always compare your achievement to someone else's achievement. Maybe someone just graduated with a master's degree and you have a BSc and some certifications, and you're like, "Ah, this person has a master's. I need to get a master's and maybe a PhD." You don't even want to be on that person's level. You always want to be higher or better. You always want to compete. Life is more than competition. You having more than that person doesn't mean you're more successful than that person, or you having less than that person doesn't mean that that person is more successful than you are. Your friend buys your okay, let's say you were planning to upgrade your phone from an iPhone X or XR to an iPhone 12, and then someone else who is close to you buys an iPhone 14, and you're like, I want to buy an iPhone 15 instead. If you find yourself doing that, see, that is one way that you would limit yourself, because if you keep doing it, you are putting yourself under unnecessary pressure. You don't need that pressure. You don't need it. Stop comparing yourself to people. Stop always trying to do better than the next person. Be genuinely happy for people's success. Be happy for them. Instead of competing with them, what you should do is get inspiration from them. Be inspired. But when it becomes competition, you have totally missed out on the whole point of it all. Moving on to the seventh sign, you take responsibility instead of making excuses or giving excuses. And this is something that I have learned even in marriage. I found out during my I want to say early stage of marriage. I think you're just 9 months married. Yesterday I was 9 months married. But yeah, I found out in the very early stage, the first few months of marriage, that when my husband and I have conversations and he tells me something, I'm quick to always say, "Oh, I didn't do this because of this." There's always an excuse. Like I'm always giving an excuse or backing up my claims with something else. That does not help. Result is what matters. Results ni koko. That's what you need, not the gallon of excuses that you have. Sometimes even before you meet that person, you've planned all the excuses. Take responsibility. You should have done it. Yes, even if things happened that made you not to do it. Don't dwell on that. Accept I didn't do it. Take responsibility and stop always giving excuses. Right now, I'm hardly giving excuses. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying I'm sorry to just dismiss it or just let it go. I'm saying I'm sorry because, yes, I should have done it and I am indeed sorry. And I will always learn from it. I try not to let something that my husband or people have complained about happen more than once. So if you've reached that phase in your life or that level in your life where you're not giving excuses for anything, you take and accept responsibility, you're making progress, okay? And you should be proud of yourself because not everyone has gotten to that point in their life. Everyone is always trying to make themselves the good guy or the good woman or the good whatever. People always want to justify themselves, give reasons why things didn't happen, when we should be indeed trying to attain results or get results. You can give explanations once in a while as to why things that should have happened didn't happen. But if that becomes a norm, people wouldn't see you as someone who is trustworthy or someone who is reliable. And you don't want to be that person because that's literally you shutting the doors on yourself. I think I'm in sign 8 now. Sign 8 is that your priorities have changed. The things that excites you before no longer does. You just realize that the things that now excite you are things that are in alignment with your purpose, are things that are going to get you that end result that you want. Without even trying, you just realize that that's what's happening right now. You're more interested in reading books, you're more interested in listening to some certain podcast. Right now, the podcast that makes me happy that I can spend hours listening to are personal development podcasts or podcasts about influential people, people that have grown. In fact, let me not even just say influential people, people who have a story. I always want to listen to them. Those are the kind of podcasts that I listen to and watch as well. And I didn't wake up one morning to say, I want to start listening to podcasts. I want to start listening to Mel Robbins and this and Diary of a CEO. I didn't wake up one morning. I just found out that it was a thing of interest to me. And gradually, I became too deep in. My roots went so deep in that it couldn't just come out. Before, I'm always trying to watch one comedy or one podcast that has to do one gossip podcast or celebrity news. That right now drains me. I'm like, why am I even here? Honestly, why am I here when I could be using this time to help myself become a much better person? So if you've gotten to that point where your priorities have changed without even intentionally forcing it, I mean, it's good if you intentionally force it as well, right? Try it. Like the violent ones will take you by force. You are in charge of your life. You should call the things that you want, make your life the kind of life that you want, take ownership of your life. So, yes, I'm all for that. But if that happens without you trying, like your priorities change without you even trying, I think that that's even much better because you don't need so much convincing to continue anymore. The ninth point is that you pray differently. Now, many of us, we go to God in prayers or we pray, we have a sequence. Some of us, we either go straight to the request. Um, some of us would actually thank God for what we have and then go to the request. Now, I don't have a problem with this because you know your level or you know that thing that you really want from God. And how important it is for you. So if you want to just go straight into it, that's fine. I mean, God is not going to be mad at anybody for having a conversation with Him. It's just that there's this courtesy that we should have when we approach our Father. Don't just go and say, I want this. Like, there's a way to just go about it. You know, when you want something from your dad, your earthly dad, if you have a good relationship with him, or someone who you have a very good relationship with, you know how you go to them and ask. That's the same way I feel like you should approach God when you want something from Him. You should not just go and just say, I want this. You have to acknowledge the things He has done, thank Him for the things He has done, and then you can make your request. Now, the request itself is not the problem, but most of us are always requesting for finished goods. Like, we're requesting for the end product. We don't want to be a part of it in any way. And I think that that's where the problem is. You're most likely praying for a job and saying you want to work in maybe the big four tech companies, but you have not made yourself employment worthy for those jobs that you want. You're just praying to God that you want that job. I want to work as a data analyst. I want to work as a cybersecurity expert. Hello? What do you have to offer? What have you done for yourself? Have you put yourself in that position where you are qualified enough for that role? If you're not and you're praying, those prayers might not be answered because God will bless the works of our hands. What do you have to show? If there's nothing to show, there is nothing to bless. Honestly, let me give you an example of the three people that God gave different talents. He gave the first one 5 talents, gave the other one 2 talents, and the third person he gave 1 talent, right? The one with 5 talents multiplied it, the one with 2 talents multiplied it, and the one with 1 talent decided that he or she was going to go bury it. When it was time and the master requested to see what they had done with the talent he gave to them, those ones who went to do something with it had additions, but the one who was given one, he could have multiplied it to 2 or 3. Like, what is stopping you? Why do you always think that you're not capable? He went and buried it, and more wasn't given to him, obviously, because he has not done anything with the resources that he was given. So it's the same way. Get yourself ready for that blessing. Get yourself prepared for that blessing. Pray differently. Instead of praying and asking God, I want this job, ask God for the strength to become the person that is worthy enough for that job or that is qualified enough for that job. That's what you should be doing. Pray to God for consistency in doing what you're doing. Pray to God. There are prayers that you should be praying to God for, not just asking for finished products all the time. And I'm not saying that there are no times that you get the full blessing without even putting in any effort. But the Bible still said it that faith without works is dead. Even if you're trusting God for a blessing, you need to put in the work. You need to There's no way to go about it. You need to put in the work and get yourself ready and positioned for that blessing when it comes. And the last but not the least, the 10th sign to know that you are growing and becoming the person that you want to be is that you show up. You show up. Come what may, you're showing up. No matter what phase you are in your life, maybe in that sad phase or that phase where you're not really happy, because everyone really goes through those phases. But if with all of that, you're still showing up, not just showing up, but showing up well, then you're making a lot of progress. That is something that many people have not even attained. Many people have not gotten to that point where they show up regardless. So if you're showing up regardless, you are making a lot of progress. And I am so proud of you. And I know that the world will be soon, soon, because the world deals basically in results. Everyone wants to see results. But I took the time to give you these 10 signs to let you know that even if you cannot see the progress right now, you cannot see the end result right now, these signs is showing you that it is just a matter of time. You're almost there. So keep at it. Okay, thank you for watching this video till this very point. We are now at 115 subscribers. Thank you. That's 2 subscribers from last week's video. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, I'll say it again. I'll never get tired of saying it. So yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me know that you're thankful for the videos that I'm putting out here. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed, to all of you who constantly drop comments on my videos. Like, I'm surprised at how many comments I get on my videos. Like, I get comments on my videos. Joy, my mom, my uncle, like, you guys, I love you all so much. Thank you for rooting for this girl and just being a part of this journey with me. And once again, till next time, bye.